People often say, where am I going to get the material to make compost? Well, in America it's a drive-by. You just pick it up on the side of the road. There's leguminous mulch here with pine needles mixed with garden clippings. This is honey locust. I'm underneath a honey locust. It's been swept up for you. It's been piled up. It's ready to put straight in the car, straight in the bag, take away. There's a business here. This is the fertilizer of America lying on the side of the road, about to be dumped and devalued rather than upsold into food security. And there it is. And when it comes to autumn, it's going to be everywhere. You're going to have a year's supply of compost here on the side of the road every 100 meters. It's the fine shredded carbon that's always hard to find in bulk. It's easy to get the small amount of nitrogen you need to fire this up. And that is a beautiful mixture of large surface area carbon. I'd take it straight away. Well, here we are, Berkeley, California, San Francisco, and this is the Berkeley Youth Alternatives Project. This is for kids at risk, after school project. Here they put in gardens and they plant fruit trees. The place is dripping in fruit at the moment, and the kids haven't been here for a while because it's summer holidays, it's midsummer, but there's still plenty of production. We're right in the middle of the suburbs here, and the kids really learn what it is they can do to provide good healthy food and understand design to provide for their own needs. Let me show you some of this stuff. Well, you can see we're right in the suburbs, and we've got beautiful bright red apples everywhere. In fact, different coloured, yellow, green and red, and a whole mixture of fruit here. It's quite surprising what's growing. So we're on about 1,000 square meters. That's about 1/4 of an acre. And we're right here in the suburbs. And the great thing is here, the school kids can learn what it takes to install a perennial food landscape. These trees are very well attended and well pruned, and they'll go on for a long time. And the amount of work, of input in relation to the benefits of output is a really good relationship. This will be a very, very sustainable and food secure landscape that children will really learn about. So the kids are going to get great lessons out of this. And we can still garden in between with vegetable gardens that are annuals that come and go. But these trees are going to go on for a very long period of time. And it makes children feel very secure if they can live in a landscape that has long-term and permanent, perennial food security. You're living in amongst your supply lines. I'm up against the thermal mass wall here. It's the north wall of this building, so it faces the sun in the south. And that's a heat sink. And we've got lemons here, right up against the wall. And that helps them ripen. We've also got blackberries. I'm actually in the bramble patch here, and I'm going to take a risk. Here's a nice blackberry. Not too thorny here, beautiful blackberries. And there's tons of them along this wall here. Beautiful design feature to include the thermal mass and solar aspect for the lemons and the blackberries. Here are snake beans. I'm in a busy part of Brooklyn, East Brooklyn, and it's like I'm in a Jamaican garden. A lot of the people here are from the Caribbean, and there's all kinds of tropical crops that people want to grow because they want to eat it, and they've found a way to grow it. They're getting it in early in the season. They got good compost, they got good systems, different types of sweet potato. There's the snake beans, taro, okra. There's an amaranth called callaloo, and we've got all kinds of onions and clumping onions and cucumbers and different spinaches. It's a whole mixture of stuff, and it's real down-to-earth gardening. These are people gardening because they actually want to grow the food, so it's extremely efficient. People are putting in effort for a good return. So here we have crop after crop in the community garden. With over 60 community gardens in this particular neighborhood, there's literally food everywhere. And food that the local people like because they've come from other parts of the world. They've created microclimates to grow their specific food crops. It's completely stacked with food. There's a massive surplus here, and they're taking food from here to farmers markets, local, inner city, organic, community grown food at farmers markets for local people. This can be done anywhere. It doesn't have to be a sanction that you're forced to do it. This is being done by choice because this is what people prefer to eat. This is the permaculture garden at UMass Amherst, Massachusetts, and it's just entering its 3rd year, and it's exposed to all these university students throughout the campus. Ryan, this is Ryan Harb, who's one of the initiators, or the initiator of this amazing project in the middle of the university grounds here. So how did it all get started, Ryan?
It all got started with a student initiative. The students proposed a project on the campus. They were given a project that said, what is one thing that I could do to change the world for the better? And they picked a permaculture garden on the campus. And then it was our job as students and staff to work on making that happen together.
And you've been endorsed by the Chancellor, I understand. So you're putting the garden in at the Chancellor's house on campus, is that right?
We had a new Chancellor who got named here in 2012, and when he first came here, him and his wife said, we heard about the internationally acclaimed UMass Permaculture Initiative. We want a permaculture garden at our house, at the Chancellor's house. And so that's what we did. That was our latest project.
This is, you must be very excited with what the results have been.
I'm proud of our team. We're doing great here.
Great stuff. This is a 1/4 acre of annual, perennial, and food forest mixed system. It's all productive. It's producing food for the university canteen, and it's exposed to the students, has people spaces for education and interaction. This is a classic model that should be replicated, and I believe will be replicated across America and across the world's universities, because it's definitely desired by the students. So it's raining here, and it's the end of summer in Holyoke, Massachusetts, and we're in a really cold climate. We get 1/2 meter to 2 feet of snow here every year guaranteed. And this is Tropical Lab. And it's a nitrogen fixing, fertilizing green manure, but to the Puerto Rican gardeners here, who only pay $4 a month for a little plot here, this is food, but it's fertilizer by default. And when the snow comes, all going down to the ground to feed the soil. The people here are mostly, nearly all Puerto Rican, and they're mostly older men who garden here. The young people haven't got time, but the heritage of gardening is with the older people. And it's nearly all tropical crops. There's sentimental chilies. There's pigeon pea, which is amazing because it's a perennial, but this is a short season pigeon pea. They've developed, they start the chilies and the pigeon pea in a glass house to get a jump on the season, and they get it all in a cold climate summer. We've got tomatoes, we've got okra, we've got melons, we've got pumpkins, we've got callaloo, There is a little bit of cabbage and broccoli here and there, but mostly it's the really sentimental tropical crops. There's hyacinth bean, there's native passion fruit here, there's a rampancy theme, there's corn, there's a wild mulberry there. But the amazing thing here is, this is the tropics for a season of the summer with a Puerto Rican theme in a cold, cold climate. So by design, you can achieve almost anything. There's eggplants, there's quite a lot of eggplants here. There's cucumbers here. It's just incredible what's possible if you really want that sentimental food. If you want it, you can have tropics in a cold climate. Here's this beautiful hyacinth bean. And there's even annual moringa in this garden here, which is a large tree, but they're getting a moringa crop for a season. So we've got what we want by design. Now, this is a really interesting approach to gardening because it means that almost anything is possible. And the heritage of this going forward means we can have food security in any style. We can mix the styles. We can look at the perennial vegetable complement to this. If we can see this as the freedom of the future, the liberation of the people, this is the revolution that we need. I can see a whole load of clumping garlic and clumping onions there. There's little secret spots everywhere. There are garden patches here that literally look like the tropics. And when the snow comes, it all goes down and fertilizes the soil for next year. So it's been great introducing you to the Puerto Rican tropics in a cold temperate climate. Incredible.